Welcome to the Observe Day podcast, the show where we celebrate the days that matter. From holidays to meaningful observances, we bring you inspiring conversations, stories, and ideas to make each day count. Whether it's raising awareness, learning something new, or simply sparking joy, this is your space to explore the calendar in a whole new way. I'm your host, Wisdom Okonkwo, and I'm excited to share today's observance with you. Let's dive in. My guest today is Dr. Gloria Vanderhorst, a psychologist, writer, and mentor with decades of experience guiding individuals, couples, and families through emotional challenges. She's the author of Read, Reflect, Respond, The 3 Hours of Growth and Change, a best-selling journal that invites readers to use the act of reading as a pathway to self-awareness and transformation. Her work focuses on emotional development, especially for men and boys who have been culturally limited in accessing their full range of feelings. Today, we're celebrating National Read a New Book Month with Gloria's wisdom on how books can be catalysts for emotional growth and change. Welcome to the podcast, Gloria.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here. And this is a very important topic. Everybody needs to know how to address emotional development, and particularly with boys and men.
Yeah. As we celebrate National Read a New Book Month, what role do you believe books play in emotional development and self-reflection?
I believe that everyone is capable of growth and change, and that the way that we do that is through tapping into wisdom. We can find wisdom in a grandparent. We can find wisdom in a teacher. We can find wisdom in a neighbor. And we can also find wisdom in the things that we read. It's critical for us to seek out information that will help us to grow and that will benefit our children and grandchildren. This is critical for the future. We're coming into an age of artificial intelligence where the changes will be maybe similar to what people experienced when they went from the horse to the buggy, right? When they went to a car instead of a horse. It's going to be a dramatic change. So we need to educate ourselves on what will be happening in the future.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for that. In your own book, Read, Reflect, and Respond, you emphasize the connection between reading and growth. How did this idea come about, and how do you see readers engaging with it?
So first, I want to show you the cover of this book.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So here's the book. Read, Reflect, Respond, 3 R's of Growth and Change.
Yeah. It's
Right?
glossy.
It's
It reflects.
very important that we, as a culture, begin to reflect on how we relate to other people and how our current thinking and feeling will impact the children of the future.
Yeah.
This book will help you to do that. It'll help you to understand yourself. It'll help you to make choices about how you relate to your own children and your grandchildren. These are the people of the future. And it is critical that we have a strong influence on the people of the future.
Yeah. Oh, read, reflect, and respond. Read, reflect, and respond. And I'm curious, how did the idea come about for you writing that book?
I do a series of blogs. I have 50 years of experience as a psychologist, and I would say maybe about 3 years ago, that experience began to express itself in terms of writing. I wanted to communicate with people at large. My work is one-on-one, right?
Yeah.
I'm working with an individual, or I'm working with a couple, and the learning that takes place in this situation is something that can benefit people at large. So I wanted to influence people beyond the work that I was doing with an individual or a couple. So I started writing this blog and publishing it for anybody and everybody to read. And after a while, I thought, wow, I have so many pieces of
Yeah.
information, guidance, direction. I'm going to put it together in the form of a book. So there are 52 essays in this book. The unique part about this book is that the facing page has a couple of stimulating questions, and the facing page is blank. Most journal books have lines. They expect you to respond in terms of words and language and writing. Trust me, right? We hold information in terms of other forms than language. We hold it in terms of pictures. We hold it in terms of motion. The blank page gives you the opportunity to draw something or even to scribble something, just to have the emotional reaction of intensity, for example, right? Maybe like just really hard on the page. Maybe I'm really light and sweet and soft on the page as I draw something. This is very important. Our brains hold on to every experience we have ever had, and we can represent that experience in terms of language, in terms of motion, in terms of picture. So the facing page is blank for a very good reason, so
Yeah.
that you as a person can tap into earlier parts of your history. And by doing that, really understand how you have been influenced by interactions with the other people around you.
Yeah. Well, why do you think reading offers a unique form of therapy that other activities don't?
Can you ask that in a different way?
Yeah. In the book, you talk about read, reflect, and respond. What is
Mhm.
so peculiar about reading as a way to help us reflect and respond?
Yeah. So uh, we the biggest challenge for a young child is to learn to read. We read to children from the time that they are born, all right? We're
Yeah.
reading kind of little nursery rhymes. We're repeating songs to them. That's reading, that's language. We are immersed in a culture that uses words to help us grow and learn. And that's the way that we begin to understand ourselves, understand relationships with the people in our family, and explore how we think and feel about ourselves. So it is critical that we kind of use this process to dive deeper into who we are, what's our history, and what do we need to focus on so that we can grow? And that's my focus. I want
Yeah.
people.
Before we dive deeper, I'd love to invite you to join the Observe Day newsletter. Every week, I send you highlights of upcoming observances, creative ways to celebrate, and behind the scenes extras from the shows. It's the perfect way to stay inspired and never miss a meaningful moment. Sign up today at observeday.com/join. That is observeday.com/join. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
To understand themselves better. I want them to grow emotionally.
Yeah, you worked extensively with men and boys. How can reading help them access emotions that might otherwise be suppressed?
Well, the truth is, and this is a something that shocks everyone when I
Okay.
describe it, boys come into the world with a broader range of emotional expression than girls do.
Wow.
Right? So think about that. Boys are born with a broader range of emotional expression than girls. But by and large, boys interact with mothers for the beginning years of and months of their lives. And mothers are not comfortable with this broader range. So when a boy goes kind of higher than mother is comfortable with in terms of intensity or lower in terms of emotional intensity, mother backs away. Mother becomes more quiet. Mother is distracted. Mother moves away from the infant. So, without intention, mother is training the boy to cut off access to the boy's full range of emotional expression. And
Yeah.
then, as he is able to walk around, right, the
Yeah.
culture tells him that he is to do a further cut. Any emotion that is on the negative end of the spectrum, right? If he is sad, if he is hurt, right? If he is confused, he is to cut off access to those feelings. We don't want boys to cry. We don't want boys to be confused. We don't want boys to have a sense of, gosh, I'm feeling lost. Can somebody help me? We don't want boys to experience that negative end of the continuum. They are to be competent, they are to be aggressive, they are to be successful. The negative end of the continuum is not allowed. And that creates emotional damage for every one of our boys, you included.
Oh, that's really surprising. You did say it before
It
before you
it is
did.
surprising, all
Yeah.
right? We don't so research on this has been in existence, since, the late 1940s. Think about that,
Wow, that's a long time.
right? That's a very long time. There are tons and tons of research out there. In fact, the American Psychological Association put all of this research together in a very thick book. Right? But it doesn't reach the popular media. So we have known for a very long time that we diminish the emotional range of boys. We have known for a very long time that we don't let boys experience feelings on the negative end of the continuum. We shame them, right? If they cry, or if they're irritated, if they're confused, we shame them for that behavior.
Yeah.
And that's so undermining of the emotional potential of a male. But, we've done it for centuries. All right. It used to be adaptive. I believe it is no longer adaptive.
Wow. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Yeah, I did learn something new, and I also
Shocking,
believe my
isn't it?
listeners
It's
learned
shocking.
something new from your experience as a psychologist. Are there certain genres or types of books that you notice tend to spark deeper self-reflection?
I think that we can all benefit from educating ourselves about our own emotional histories, right? And about reading about the emotional development of both males and females. Right? Boys come into the world with a broader range of emotional expression than girls. We train boys to cut off access to that. And then think about it. When they become adults and fall in love with a girl, develop a relationship, get married, we expect them to be able to access emotions that we have actively trained them to deny.
Yeah.
So, no wonder more than 50% of marriages end in divorce because we deny men the access and the ability to express themselves emotionally. If we're going to progress as a culture, we need to change that. We need to change that dramatically.
Thank you for that, Dr. Gloria.
You're welcome.
Yeah. The your book, Read, Reflect, and Respond. Have you can you share with us um, maybe from a client or maybe from you, where reading the book sparked an important moment of growth.
So this is a reflective book.
Okay.
It is accessible to everybody, right? One page has a very simple story, really. I write stories. And so the stories can range from early childhood experiences to late adulthood experiences, but each one of these stories will trigger some piece of history for you, some piece of emotional reaction for you. And on the facing page, you can scribble, you can draw, you can write. You will learn a lot about yourself by working through this book. And you don't have to do it from page one to the end. You can jump around, you can open it up and pick out something that is speaking to you that particular day. It's got tons of flexibility in it because as human beings, we are all very flexible,
Yeah.
but it will challenge you. It will encourage you to take a deeper dive into your own emotional life. And there will be an incredible benefit to change the way that you react with the people around you, whether it's reacting to your own children, to relationship with another adult, to a spouse, to your parents, to your neighbors. It will open up access to your strengths and
Yeah.
also your weaknesses so that you can improve those.
Yeah. Parents are often looking for ways to bond with their kids. How can reading together support healthier emotional development in children, especially boys?
It's critical, particularly for fathers, to be able to understand this history. I would say to you that men in general do not know that they came into the world with a broader range of emotional capability than their female siblings. They don't know that, right? So this is a wow, really? That's true about me? All right. And when you can face that reality, yes, you started out with more emotional information than your female sibling did. You can be curious. You can be interested. You can challenge yourself to access those feeling states again. The good part is none of that has disappeared. Your brain holds on to everything. Your brain holds on to very early emotional experiences. And if you open yourself up to curiosity, then your brain will open itself up to give you pieces of information that are critical in your history and can then help you understand how did you become this particular emotional person rather than someone else?
What do you hope your upcoming book on fatherhood and emotional development will inspire in readers?
So, the new book that I'm working on is designed for fathers. And it is designed to help fathers understand how to do a better job of relating to their sons so that their sons do not lose access to the full range of emotional expression. So the book has case studies of men that I have worked with in the past and how they have developed their own journey from being emotionally limited in childhood to really exploring and understanding those limitations and giving themselves permission to access a broader range of feelings. All right. This
Yeah.
particular book is really designed for fathers to help their sons to grow up in a different environment, right? We no longer have to send men out into the field to hunt and gather like
Yeah.
we did in caveman times. We no longer really have to send men out to fight wars because we're beginning to do that by pushing buttons and blowing people up long distance. And so, with artificial intelligence on the forefront, we're going to have a lot more free time, which means more opportunity for interaction with other people, whether it's male or female.
Yeah.
So, we have to be focusing on more social development, more interpersonal interaction, because that's the future for all of us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gloria.
You're welcome.
At the beginning of the episode, you showed me your book, and we also moved to. I've asked you a couple of questions regarding the book. Where can listeners get the book, and where can listeners connect with you?
All right. The book is available on Amazon, but you can also walk into any independent bookstore all over the world. And if they don't have it on the shelf, and many of them do, if they don't have it on the shelf, they will order it for you. So it is accessible any place in the world. And I really encourage you to get a copy and to begin to use it to expand your emotional relationship.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Where can listeners connect with you?
And they can connect with me on my website. It's www.drvanderhorst.com. So that's www.drvanderhorst.com. I am happy to talk with anybody, to help anybody, to support anybody, any place all over the world.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gloria. It's been an absolute delight chatting with you.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I'll put the links mentioned in the description and in the show notes.
That's great.
That's it for today's episode of the Observe Day podcast. Thank you for spending your time with us as we explore today's observance. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and share it with a friend who'd love to celebrate life's special days too. Don't forget to join the newsletter at observeday.com/join for more observance stories, tips, and updates. Until next time, keep finding meaning in every day.